Hi, well in this film I'm going to be doing a few green woodworking techniques, so splitting out a log and getting some components to make a stool. And I'll show you how I use my drawer knife, and also I'll be using a couple of quite interesting tools, my jarvis plane and my hollow auger, so it's a bit like a tenon cutter, dated 1900, so some quite old tools, but quite good fun to have a go with them, and I'll be making some stretchers with those. I'm using a couple of wedges here to split the log out, and it's quite an effective way. So this is an ash log that I'm using, and I'm just at the moment splitting out the leg components for the stool. At this stage I'm using my side axe, and I'm just removing as much of the wood as possible, so it's quite a quick, effective way of getting rid of some of the wood. And then I'll be using my drawer knife to do a more, if you like, measured approach in terms of removing wood. Here's a head view of drawer knifing action, and a drawer knife's quite a quick way of getting material off. I keep that fairly sharp. It looks dangerous, but actually you control it quite well. And now I'm getting my jarvis plane. Now this is the one that I restored in an earlier film, and I found this quite effective actually at removal. It's a bit like a spoke shave, but it's got that lovely long flat sole to it, and that really helps get a good surface. And I found it was just as effective if you're pushing it or pulling it, but it's a nice enjoyable tool to use. A bit more removal now with a drawer knife on one of the other legs. So I've got 4 legs in all for this stool. I've got a bit more jarvis work just there. Again, using my side axe, that's an axe with a bevel only on one side, just to remove some wood from one of the spindles. And now I'm using, I should say, cross stretchers, I suppose, the thinner bits that go across the stretchers. I'm using my drawer knife to take that down as well. So again, jarvis plane, get it a bit smoother. And what I'll be doing in a minute is putting a tenon on the end of that, using my hollow auger. So first of all I'm using this little round doming head in my bracing bit, so that gives me a conical point. And this is my hollow auger, which also goes on the bracing bit. And you can adjust the width for the cutter, and it has a depth stop. That's the depth stop I'm pointing to there. And then you can adjust the width just where I'm pointing now. There's a screw to make it wider or narrower depending on what size of tenon you want, and that was the cutter I was just pointing to. It's not particularly fast as you use it, but it's quite effective, and it does give you a nice tenon. This one was made in 1900, so it's quite an old tool, but I think by that stage they actually got the manufacture of them to a very nice standard. It's a beautiful bit of engineering. So that's cutting the tenon down. Then giving you different views. Very satisfying using these tools, and of course being green wood, it cuts fairly easily because it's got the moisture in it. That's the beauty of green woodworking, there's no sawdust. So a bit more cleaning up now with the drawer knife. Yeah, there's no sawdust, it's all just rather nice, fairly easy to cut wood. If that was seasoned wood, that would be a lot harder. But because it's got a high moisture content, it's recently come off the tree, it's green wood, it cuts pretty easily. It's very nice. What I'll be doing is letting the stretchers dry out, and then I'll be later on assembling them and putting them in with slightly wetter legs, and I'll get lovely tight joints like that. You can see I was enjoying that jarvis plane. I like the sound of the tools on the wood. We're doing a bit more roofing to our cooking room, so we're putting shingles on the roof, and that's the background noise. So here we are, a last little look. That's the jarvis plane with its nice wide sole. History of these tools I like as well. That's the hollow auger, that's the blade there. So I got that nice and sharp. It's doing a good job. In a minute I'll show you the conical cutter. Now, I hope you've enjoyed just seeing a sort of bit of an insight into how I go about making a stool and working the green wood into rough, spindle and stretcher form. So that would be some components now for making a stool. I hope you enjoyed seeing my green woodworking and a few of my tools there being used. It's something I really enjoy. I enjoy the woodwork, do it as a hobby, as you know, and it's nice. It's outdoors, you meet friends, and it's all very enjoyable. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.